adventure to me is trying something new, taking myself out of my norm and doing something that I normally wouldn't do, because why not? Ever since I was a kid, everybody always told me that I'm this crazy, like extreme person who's got a death wish. And to me, I don't really have a death wish. I see it as a life wish, trying something that would expand my life, that's fun, and that will actually give me purpose in life. As soon as something like scares you, you tend to freeze up. Well, for me, I do the opposite. Instead of freezing, I try to take a deep breath and figure out how I can navigate my way through this conflict or through this situation. Unknown. Like for instance, sometimes I'll go on skydives and these guys will have a plan and they're like, "Hey TJ, tell me your plan." I'm like, "Nah, don't tell me. I'm just gonna freestyle it. Just let myself like do whatever I want to do, just make it happen." For me, it's more laid back that way, and it's easier for me to get what I want to get out of it, to get the shot, what I'm looking for, or just to play with people, not knowing what's gonna happen, just kind of like I said, freestyling it. So I've been in several situations in skydiving that I thought I was gonna die. One of the things that my dad taught me when I first started jumping was, don't lose the bet with your mind. As soon as you admit in your mind that something's gonna go wrong and you're gonna fail or you're gonna die, you've given up all hope to survive. You've given up all your mental power to get out of that situation. For me, I go into reset going, I know I'm about to hit this other parachute. I need to take a deep breath and I need to ride this out. And then I just go into a calm state of mode where I take a look at my altimeter to make sure that I have altitude and how much time I have to deal with shit. Because people can get complacent with time. Under the parachutes that I fly, I either can be coming to the ground slow or I can be coming at the ground really aggressively fast where altitude is gone within seconds. So knowing what parachute I'm on, knowing how high I am and how long I have before I need to get rid of that parachute. I'm in the sport of skydiving purely for the love of it. I grew up watching my family work all the time, watching my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, my dad, always working and never having any time to themselves, or even time for us when I was growing up. And the way things are going nowadays, it seems like it's going to be the same way for me. So in my aspect of work, it allows me to take time off to hang out with my kid, or I can take off and push for a couple months or a couple weeks in Australia teaching a team to become world champions. So for me, it's all aspects of it. Teaching people to get to where I'm at or where I've been in the sport. The way I manage risk is depending on the reward in what I'm doing. If this risk or trick that I'm gonna do, is the reward gonna be big enough for what I'm trying? I definitely weigh a lot now on the risk that I take because I have a kid. Before, when I was 25 to 29, I didn't really care. Like, I'd do what I want, would just do any trick, land in the back of a car, back of a motorcycle, and not really care about what would happen if I got hurt. Nowadays, the first thing that I think about whenever I put myself in an extreme situation is, if I get hurt, what's gonna happen to my boy? Because my boy is my life, you know? So that's the first thing that comes to mind now. The flow state for me when I get into the sport is checking my gear, making sure everything's on properly, making sure the people that I'm jumping with, I've briefed them to the actual skydive that we're gonna do. We talk about our break off when we're all gonna get away from each other. And when we deploy our parachutes, to open up and look around to make sure that we're all open together and we're just keeping an eye on people, you know? Like you're going out riding your bike with your little brother. You're not gonna ride 2 miles down the road and not be able to see him. You wanna keep track of your friends because if something happens, you wanna be able to get to them quickly, just in case, you know, you need to make an emergency call. Over the last 10 to 15 years, these wind tunnels have opened up our skydiving community to younger people, because you have to be at least 18 to be able to jump out of an airplane. But now with these wind tunnels, you could be as young as 6 years old and as old as like 100 to fly in here. You know, so it's bridged that gap between like having somebody who's really young with the imagination of a kid, being able to like go in there and let their mind go and just dream up how they want to fly and end up actually doing it. So that is definitely, I think, is help the sport, because it's going to bring skydiving more to the public and to show people that anybody can do it, not just crazy people that want to jump out of airplanes.
Here we go.